And now we have Manjusha would come to us and present to us on the psychological impact.
A very pleasant morning to the respected Dr. Bhavani Shankar sir, to English sir, to faculty and to everyone gathered over here. I'm M. Manjusha from degree final year. So as two of my friends, Dakshita and Akshita, have already addressed about euthanasia, you might have formed a basic understanding of what euthanasia is. But sticking on to the conventional approach, I would like to start with my own kind of definition on euthanasia. So what is euthanasia? Imagine someone is having incurable illness or severe disability. Euthanasia is an act of ending up someone's life in order to get them relieved from that suffering. There are various types and kinds of euthanasia based on what and how it is performed, like voluntary, involuntary, active and passive. So setting this all apart and setting this as my introduction for today, I would like to dive into my topic, that is psychological impact of euthanasia on patients, parents and healthcare providers. Let me start with patients. Live and let live. That's how the saying usually goes, but now we seem to have a different version of it. Live and let die. Because why? Why? Because some people are going through so much pain that they do not want to live, rather they would rest in peace forever in order to get rid of the suffering. There are basically people choose euthanasia over two kinds of suffering. One is the mental suffering, the other is the physical suffering. At this point of time, I would like to bring up two case studies before you, which would ease your understanding. So here you go. She is one of the persons who opted for euthanasia in the recent past. So here, is it visible for everyone? She is Lisa Polly. She is Lisa Polly and she opted for euthanasia in the recent past. And I just want to show you a 5 seconds clip of her speaking in her long interview. Here you go.
If the option was there today, I would, yes.
I will replay it again.
Do you want to die now? If the option was there today, I would, yes.
Did you guys listen to her? When the journalist asked if she wants to die now, Lisa Polly replied if that option is available for her today, she would go for it. Why? Why so? Why is she saying so? She is Lisa Polly and she has been wrestling with anorexia for decades. I repeat, for decades. For those who don't know, anorexia is a miserable eating disorder. She went through a lot of treatments, medication, she went through a lot of surgery, many surgeries, pain, trauma, suffering and all, but nothing had improved her situation. Rather, her condition gets deteriorated day by day. Even the doctor said that no treatment can make her situation better. The only solution that she has is to endure with that suffering until her death. That's why she opted to die earlier and thus she opted for euthanasia. This comes under physical suffering, and there is another kind of suffering, that is mental suffering. Here I would like to come up with another case. 33-year healthy Dutch woman chooses euthanasia. Is it visible for everybody? 33-year healthy Dutch woman chooses euthanasia. She is Zolanda, a Dutch woman. She has opted euthanasia because she is almost 35 years of old and she has been suffering from chronic illness, from recurring depression, autism, mild learning difficulties since she was 22 years of old. 22 to 35 means that's almost 13 years of depression. She tried all the possible solutions, taking it from therapies to medication, but nothing had improved her condition. And her psychiatrist said that there is no treatment that they could provide to improve her condition, and that's why she wanted to end her suffering with euthanasia. There are many such cases over many years, but I'm here to address the psychological conditions of them. But why I opt to present you the case studies? Because case studies provide you a glimpse of understanding of how patients truly feel, what they experience, and that is my duty to make you understand the psychological conditions of the patients. See, at this point of time, choosing euthanasia on one side of the coin may relieve them because they opted for a choice which might take their life with dignity, and by which they would get rid of that suffering. But on other side of the coin, it would give them a sense of guilty, worry, sadness when they think, especially when they think of how their choice might affect their loved ones. To put it in a sentence, their psychological condition is a stirrup of mixed emotions. As but some of the reports says that the people who are willing to opt for euthanasia felt very happy in the sense they were very calm and peaceful when they scheduled for euthanasia. So this is the psychological conditions of the patients. Then coming to the parents, I would like to come up with another case study here. This is parents allow 5-year-old to choose heaven over the hospital. Here you go. This is a headline from a news. Parents allows 5-year-old to choose heaven over hospital. This is her condition.
Eve asked Juliana something almost no parent could even fathom. When she was just 4 years old, they asked her what she wanted to do: go to the hospital or go to heaven. Eve asked Juliana something almost no parent could even fathom. When she was just 4 years old, they asked her what she wanted to do: go to the hospital or go to heaven. Steve asked Juliana something almost no parent could even fathom. When she was just 4 years old, they asked her what she wanted to do: go to the hospital or go to heaven.
This is Juliana Snow. She is 5-year-old and she has been suffering from neuromuscular disorder since her birth. She can't even breathe on her own. She can't handle things on her own. Imagine glitter. It is just very small particles, mixture of small particles. She can't even handle those glitters with her hands. Her health condition keeps on deteriorating day by day. Even doctors said that no treatment can save her life. Even if it did, she has to lead a terrible quality of life. What these are her parents, Jasmina Snow's parents. These are her parents. It is sure that she is going to die, but in a terrible condition within few months. But her parents wanted to give her a comfortable birth, comfortable death. That's why they opted for euthanasia. According to her wish, they prepared a bedroom like as if like a Disney princess bedroom, and they euthanized her in the year of 2016. This is her while she was euthanized in the year of 2016 like a princess on a bed. This is her father crying while he was giving his interview after she has been euthanized. See, imagine their psychological condition. It is very deep, at the same time, it is very complex in nature. See, on one side, it might give them a sense of relief that their loved one is not going to that much of pain and trauma again. But on the other side of the coin, it gives them a guilt. It gives them a lot of trauma, whether if they're wondering if they have made better choice or if they could have done much more better. But this is a mixture of complex thoughts. This can be only dealt with psychological counseling support, or else support groups might help them to overcome all those complex thoughts. And then coming to the healthcare providers, see, the core principle and core duty of the doctors is to save and support lives. But this concept of euthanasia completely goes opposite of what they have been trained to do all the time. See, on one side, they might understand the suffering of the patient in order to end their pain with dignity, but on the other side of the coin, this completely goes against and this betrays their purpose as healers. Even this leaves them with a lot of trauma, a lot of isolation, worry, sadness. Even this has to be dealt with psychological support, counseling, and support groups. So I just don't want to drag, and I just want to end up by saying that personally, I don't know whether this is a proper stage to confess or not, but personally, I do support natural death. I'm sorry if anyone's feelings get hurt, but I do support natural death. But after surfing about euthanasia for 2 to 3 days, what I felt is that See, people like you and me sitting far away and judging, oh Julia, you are just 30 years of old. Oh, Polly, you didn't even reach your 40s. How can you say take such a brave decision? I think there is nothing like impossible. Death is not the only solution. You might pass such a kind of statements by sitting far away. But see, we should not pass judgments over someone else's life choices until you get into their shoes. Never. Because someone out there is stuck with some chronic illness. Someone out there is stuck in with it's been a broken down body, that they are leading a very poor and miserable quality of life. That's so miserable. Everyone's life circumstances are not the same. That's why there is no one size fits all approach. There is here comes a saying, living is a right but not a civil obligation. What I feel is that if someone really appeals for euthanasia, give them a certain period of time, then approach some stakeholders, friends and all, doctors, give them a 4 to 5 months a period of time. Even then the decision is not changed, let them go for it. Because when there is no cure, death with dignity provides them comfort and some console. So that's what my basic understanding on it. Thank you for listening to me.